Hello, friends. My name is Teniya, and this is my first ever plan with me. I've done this voiceover several times now, and it's getting more difficult each time. But before we get started on any of that, I'm gonna let you know I constantly refer to this notebook. I do have ADHD, so writing absolutely every little tiny thing down helps me figure out what boxes I need, how my weekly spread is going to flow, and just keep track to make sure I'm doing things. Also, you will notice that these dates are wrong. I am recycling pages from an old Happy Planner, so I always have to start out by covering the dates in the calendar section. And we'll kind of get into that. So let's kind of look at some of the tools that I have with me. First, of course, is my water bottle. It usually takes me about 3 to 4 hours to do a weekly spread. So I just like to have a drink nearby so that I don't have to keep stopping and getting up. I'm also going to be using the Fabled Court Be Found kit. This is one of the first kits that we released, and it's inspired by the musical. I also have these really cute character stickers of our fairy Opal, which is very cute. And I'm also going to be using this Bic whiteout pen. I don't like it. I wouldn't recommend Bic to anybody, if I'm being honest. But this one was gifted to me a long time ago. I don't want to waste it, so I do just keep using it until it runs out. I am more of a fan of Tombow whiteout pens, so if you need a whiteout pen, I do suggest getting Tombow and staying clear of Bic. Alright, I'm also going to be using some leftover habit trackers from Sweet Bean Plans and some bill trackers from Stella, Beau Sticker Co. I'm going to try to link everything down in the description box. Okay, so before we put anything down on paper, I want to go ahead and take a look at what we are working with in this kit. So as I said before, Be Found, it was one of our first kits inspired by the musical Dear Evan Hansen, and as with all of our stuff, the artwork is exclusive, and it's actually all done by my brother, for those of you who might not know that. I love his art style, and so this kit isn't an exception. I really love this box inspired by In the Bedroom Down the Hall, and this box inspired by Words Fail. You'll see all the characters are color-coded according to their emotions in the plot of the musical, which I feel is just really a great homage to the inspiration. And then on this second page, we do have some heavily stylized date covers, which I really like. It leaves a lot of space for the date dots I'm going to be using. We also have this little side washi, which I call a quote box, and it features some lyrics from the show, from the song You Will Be Found, which is just a great song for anyone experiencing social anxiety, which I need this week. And then of course we have this beautiful graphic washi. And then on page 3 we have our little things, our half boxes, quarter boxes, all of that good stuff. I'm still learning terminology, so you'll have to excuse me if I get some of the things that these things are called wrong. I did learn earlier today that this page is headers, habit trackers, layering pieces, checklists, etc. And at the top of every single Fabled Court kit, there's actually extra layering pieces and extra headers. So jumping in at warp speed, we're covering all of the dates. I'm going to lay down some Cricut Paper Co. washi, and you are going to see my PS4 controller quite a lot. I do like to do this with the TV on. I like to hear conversations and things. Maybe that's a weird thing with me. Like I'm a person who sleeps with the TV on also, so that's just something that comforts me. So you will see that a lot. So I'm getting these date covers down. This is where I was looking for those habit trackers. I'm a person who likes to have a lot of habit trackers just because I have a lot of things that I'm trying to make sure I keep up with. You know, things like taking my medicine every day, drinking, water goals, meeting my water goals every day. I'm also learning Japanese. There's just a lot I'm keeping up with. I like to use this Monday through Sunday tracker to track my daily step goals with my Fitbit. So that's just kind of what works for moi. And if you do hear a lot of wind and rain, I actually live in Japan and it's typhoon season right now. There's a typhoon passing over where I live in my region. So if you hear any like powerful whooshing or windows rattling, that's what that is. Everything is fine otherwise. I actually got really deep into planning when I was getting ready to move overseas. We found out we were moving overseas, my partner and I, and my sister gifted me a big happy planner. And at first I had a lot of sticker anxiety. I was really nervous. I actually used to use Post-its, believe it or not, because I felt like, oh, I could just move those around if my schedule changes or whatever. But you know, having that time of really needing to get my things together, and then, you know, having my sister turn me on to this beautiful hobby where it made it into something fun and creative, made it a lot easier for me to feel like I was a person who was in control of their own life. Maybe that sounds melodramatic, but to me, that's what planning is. And I think that's also partially why I think it's so cool that if you look at anyone in the planner community, everybody uses their stuff in their own way. You can see 8 people use the same kit, and each and every single one of their spreads is going to look so incredibly different. You know, even taking out the account that they're all doing different things and they all have different responsibilities, the fact that they can use those same building blocks and create their own art is incredible. Right at this time, I realized that I needed to get this Disney box. Audie and I have been planning a super secret family vacation for literally 6 years now, and that is a really long time to be planning a vacation, but of course, you know, we're starting to get the ball rolling with certain things now, so I really needed to get a couple of Disney boxes down to kind of help me mark what I needed to do in regards to that. So those are pieces that I did not get from the Be Found kit, but I did end up using. Also, I'm really learning to layer pieces right about now. If you look at my weekly spread, of course, none of my things are like perfectly aligned. They're not always level. Some of them are crooked. That's just how things work for me. But my sister is a lot better at layering things. I would call her spreads advanced, let's say. They are definitely advanced. I am still a bit new. I would call myself like moderate. And of course, Drew is a baby planner. She's brand new. So I would call her beginner. And if you do end up watching all of our different plan with me's, you will totally understand what I mean. So I know that these are supposed to be headers. I always use these as little extra decor pieces just to kind of fill in the white space because I am working in a big size happy planner. And then this is my pin tin. No, that sounds weird. I just apparently recycle a lot of stuff in my life, including how I store my pencils and my pens. As I go through planning and laying down my boxes, I always use a pencil to fill in what that box is for. That way, if I ever have to stop planning halfway through, I can just jump right back in and remember where I'm at and what I have left to put down. And then I always go over it at the end with these micron felt tip pens, which I absolutely love. They're my favorite. This is probably my 3rd or 4th set now. And then there you have it. That's my finished inked product.